Man on the track, it's a slapper.
Hey, I don't wanna hit a cap, you can save it. But my guys and we got it up the pavement. Listen up, it's what everybody's saying. Round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give it. I know they weak by the look in their faces. All of these rings got me feeling like Brady. Say what I feel, I don't care how you take it. Round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Yeah.
Back at it again with episode 10.
That's a good little rhyme. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? It's your boy
Rapping
Dev,
early.
the kid that did. Shout out to Grand XL, my boy Ade, Obi son, my brother, man. Go ahead and cop your merch. I just had to put shout out my brother. But yeah, what's up, Trey?
Tough. Yeah, it's your boy Trey. You know what I'm saying? Hemi Turner, him not them. You know what I'm saying? Hemi Balboa, Hebron James, Hakeem Olajuwon. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy.
Yeah, it's your boy D Jones, Mr. Well Alright, aka the designated caster, aka the alien in the room. For sure, we are back, episode 10.
He wrote that down. He was like, I'm killing with this.
Nah, I always say I would say this too. Also, I want to just thank everybody out there who supports Crowd Favorite. I think the three of us actually had that same mindset for sure. We thank each and every one of you. Without y'all listening and watching us, there's no need for us to even do it. So truly appreciate y'all. I'm from the bottom of my heart for sure. For supporting us for sure. But yeah,
For sure, Ski.
we're gonna jump right into it. Free agency. You know what I'm saying? This is probably the best thing to jump into with free agency. Last time we met in our stage here. We talked a lot about Lamar, where he might go. We talked about the Aaron Rodgers, how he's gonna go to the Jets eventually. What else we talk about with free agency? I'm trying to think who else went. Oh, just everybody who committed to different places. Jimmy G, Daniel Jones re-upping, Derek Carr going to the Saints. Some new news I'll say that I'm surprised about for sure is Bobby Wagner going back to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. Personally, not that I'm a grudgeful person. I think, I definitely know he spent all his career there. That's home. He's probably very comfortable in the city. He probably has a home still there now. He probably just got a little condo when he was in L.A. But I do think it says something about when you're a player who's still very productive, and I understand it's a business, it's money, but when you're a player who's very productive and they let you go, I don't know. It just puts a bad taste in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you go somewhere else and you still like perform the same way you did in the previous place. It's almost like, why do you do that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe it's because he sees the potential that the Seahawks defense has now. Because, when he was there, he played with the Legion of Boom, I believe. You know what I'm saying? He was out there, had great DBs and whatnot. Now you got Tariq Woolen, and you actually have like a good defensive back core to where he knows, okay, if the ball gets behind me, I got some people I can rely on. And he knows the potential that this team actually has, especially with Geno being back there at quarterback. And the team is actually, they did pretty good last season. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's one of two things. One, he wants to go back because he feels like they have a lot of potential. He could probably end up potentially going back and get another Super Bowl ring with them or something of that nature. Or you never know. I'm thinking like Aaron Donald, people like that who kind of surprised me whenever he actually ended up retiring and whatnot. He might be on the back end of his career. He just wants to end his career where he started off at. Go back, have one more good season, maybe two, then be like, yeah, this is who I wanted to retire with. So I want to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I can see it playing out. But I feel like he has a good point.
I didn't think about that. The defense being good now again. I didn't think about that. That's a good point for sure.
Yeah, be on the lookout. They got the 5th and the 20th pick. So, like you said, they're just adding good pieces. They showed this past season how good they were, with Geno Smith, gave him that 3-year deal now. So they're showing that he's the proven quarterback. Now they're just adding more pieces. They can go, in the second round, possibly get a wide out. But in those first 2 picks, you can get Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, something like that, to help with Bobby Wagner, to help with Tariq Woolen, to help with Quandre Diggs. That
Kobe Bryant too. Yeah.
Yep, defensive line is getting better. They just got what's his name from the Broncos. Brain fart.
It's all good.
I'll circle back to it.
I was gonna say too. Also, I'm noticing a lot of these really, really good defensive players are signing like 1-year deals, almost like a prove it deal. I know Bobby Wagner's a good point you made, Trey. Like he might retire after this year. He's signing 1 year. I think he's signing 1 year, $8 million. But like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, like he's in the prime of his career. He led the league in picks, tied for the league in picks with Woolen. And he signed a 1 year deal for like $8 million with the Lions. Like, and the salary cap went up, so it makes you wonder like, is he having to like prove himself again on another team with a different coordinator, see if he's really that guy before he gets the big deal, or does he have like locker room issues we don't know about? Like, it makes you wonder like why, because he should have been one of the first ones grabbed. You know what I'm saying? When the free agency started, like he wasn't at all. So it makes you wonder like what's going through people's heads when it comes to him particularly.
My bad. Quick thought. It was Draymond Jones.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They got Draymond Jones now, so they're helping out on that defense. But to answer your question, with CJ, I feel like the nickel back position is now being identified, as that hybrid safety corner, and the price is not there yet. Just like how tight ends are not getting paid how they're supposed to get paid. Like, Kelsey probably the only one that's really, really getting it. And Kittle is probably right under, and then everyone else is falling, with Pitts, it's a rookie contract, So we gotta wait to see if he get a big one. So tight ends, nickelbacks, punters, like those positions right now are in a lower range for salary than it would be if he was a premier safety, like on some Jesse Bates deals. Like that would see that, and I think he's worth it, yes, because he could play that.
Right.
But because people are looking at him as you are a premier nickelback. You could play two positions. You should be, worth that, but the market is probably not that. He probably couldn't get that deal that he was looking for, and it's like now he's gonna, like you said, approve a deal to show like, hey, now I'm gonna show you and shed light, because now you have him and Kenny Moore, who are similar, in stature.
He left the Colts?
No, but Kenny Moore, like, we looking for a bag like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
He's a dog, but it's like he's more like. Oh, no. Well, they both get picked. So it's like they're both similar, playing style. So
he might just be using it as like a buffer year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of like going to the Lions and taking that, you said it was 1 year, $8 million?
Yeah.
So he probably just took that deal because he's like, you know what, let me go over here, let me ball out, because he probably didn't have as much control over where he was going to end up going, because a lot of teams might already have their DB room solidified for the most part. So he probably was like, you know what, let me go here for this 1 year. Get this $8 million, might sign for less money than I think I'm worth, or that I know I can end up getting somewhere else. Go here, ball out with a team that is good, isn't the greatest in the league, but he knows he can actually produce there, get some good film. He's going to be on the film, or not the film, but he's going to be on the field majority of the time, if not all the time. And then after that, he can be like, okay, cool, now I can control where I actually really want to go, versus having to leave the Eagles and then try to get picked up fairly quickly. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he can be using it as like a little buffer year, a little in between. That way he didn't go in there being like, hey, I want this amount of money, and now I'm tied into a long-term deal with the Lions, and now the only way to get out of here is to get traded or to break something in my contract, something like that. So I feel like with these guys, like, they're smart. They kind of make it's business decisions at the end of the day, to where it's like, hey, you know what, I'll sacrifice 1 year and less amount of money to set myself up for the future. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like potentially it could be something of that nature, but $8 million is still a lot.
And the Lions are they're on the verge of being the best in their division, the NFC East.
Yeah, this makes me definitely, I guess, reiterate my own personal thought of, if I'm an NFL player, if I was a player, even in college, like, I need my position to be clearly defined what I am before I even get to the league. Like, you see now, like, players, I remember when Jair Alexander was coming out with Lamar at Louisville, they kept on saying before the draft, you'll appreciate this too, they kept on listing him as a slot corner, nickel corner. And he came in there, he showed you he can guard the X. But, like, they kept on listing him as that. And so, like, if he would have stayed there, they would just left him there, he wouldn't even be cashing out, like you said right now, which sucks for him and his family, because he's showing you he can guard whoever you put him in front of, including how he shut down Justin Jefferson this year. So I think that, that has to be said. Like, if I'm a tweener, like when Minka Fitzpatrick was coming out, Branch this year from Alabama, like, he can play the nickel and the safety. Nah, I'm a safety. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you right now what I am, and I'm only going to work out at that position at the combine, because I don't want to get in the league and then for all my career, I'm just only put here and then I'm missing out. Like, if I was Travis Kelce, I would have been said I'm a receiver. Because you think about it, he runs all the routes. He runs go routes. He runs post, deep ones too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he getting all the catches like he at number one. Like, I would have said pay me like a receiver. He gets way cheaper contracts being a tight end. You know what I'm saying? I think as I'm saying, players gotta they try to give the players try to speak on having the power. You gotta speak up and say, you know what, like, this is what I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you receiver stats. He's getting 12, 13, 1,400 yards a year. That ain't what tight ends do. Like, tight ends give you 700, 800, you know what I'm saying, 600. He doubling that and some, and, like, he should be paid as such.
Nah, valid.
For sure.
Like Kelly Ringo was told, I don't know if you know, was told that he needed to go ahead and think about switching his position to safety.
Today.
I wonder who would have told him that. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles try to pick him up and put him in that situation because he's super fast.
Super fast.
Super fast. So he can be able to, navigate, like you said, coast to coast, sideline to sideline. I feel like that'll benefit him. And he can tackle. So
And he big. He remind me of Antrell Roll.
Yeah.
He's big. You know what I'm saying? So he can, go hit, you know what I'm saying? Take a little more of that.
And I can see the Eagles getting him. So y'all watch out for the Eagles getting your boy Kelly Ringo.
Yeah. She went to Texas.
I just want to add on that real quick too. So I feel like I was listening to y'all talking about like, all these different hybrid positions. The tight end is actually starting to become a more hybrid position and whatnot. And that's why I played in high school. I was an H-back. So I was a tight end, receiver, running back, slot, all that type of stuff. So the way I think about it is it goes to nickelbacks as well too. And to your point, what you were saying earlier, they don't get paid like how some of these solidified positional players get paid. Like on the offensive line, the left tackle is the highest paid offensive lineman on the field. For people who don't know why, it's because that's the majority of the time your quarterback is right-handed. Mm-hmm. So that's the blind side. Like they're paying you the most money. That way he's not getting hit in his back and getting sacked every time. You know what I'm saying? These premier cornerbacks, premier safeties, Ray Lewis, those premier linebackers, like those are the ones who are getting big bucks because they are masters at their position. We're going to invest all this money into you because we need you to go out here and do one thing. Now, when you got slot players. You got special ones like Tariq Hill and whatnot, but you got a slot that can go play outside, inside, come in, play a little H-back and whatnot, or even a tight end like Kelsey. He plays tight end, goes out in the slot, goes wide out. It's more so like they're going to take advantage of your physical ability, but they're not going to pay you for your ability. Because if they have to pay you for your ability, they're going to have to pay you like a running back, tight end, receiver all in one. So you're going to be getting paid more than anybody. And me, I love to say that I'm a jack of all trades, but the definition of that, or like the little quote that goes along with that, is a master of all trades is a master of none, but better off than a master of one. So I also like to give analogies for people who are watching this. You'll learn that about me. I look at it like a job. If you had a job and you're a sales associate, you got sales associates, assistant managers, managers. You know what I'm saying? If you're a sales associate, you're excelling at your job. You're excelling at everything you need to do. You have the ability to work as a manager, but they put you in that assistant manager role. Mm-hmm. So where it's like, we're going to pay you like a sales associate. We're going to pay you for your title you got, but we're going to be having you doing things as a manager because we know you can do both of these things, but we can't compensate you for doing the hardest thing. We can compensate you for being down here in this little group. That way you can do both ends of it, the groundwork and the behind-the-scenes work, but we're going to have to pay you in this little gray area. And I think that's unfair a lot of the times. It is the cap space and whatnot. Like, not everybody's going to have the money to pay these people what they want because after a while, like, these players aren't dumb, like how we was talking about earlier. Like, they got to realize their value. They got to realize, like, hey, I'm not just a tight end. I'm not just a corner or a safety. Like, I'm a hybrid player. I can do all these things. Some of these nickelbacks are better than they starting corner and safety. Mm-hmm. But they got to put them in the nickel. But you end up getting on a defense that plays a 4-3. Like, we don't need a nickel all the time. Right. We need 2 safeties, 2 corners. We got 3 backers and 4 down linemen. It's like, dang, like, what type of situation or position am I really going to put myself in to be able to excel like that? And that's why players have a hard, like a gray area, because sometimes they got to go in and be like, okay, I need to commit to one position. I can't go in and be a hybrid. Like me, I knew I was a great H-back because I love doing everything. I love running the ball. I love being able to block off the edge, going off, getting passes and stuff. But at the end of the day, mastering one of these positions is what's really going to get you paid. Because you can be great. You could have been the number 1 ranked slot receiver or H-back going into the league and whatnot. But when you go in there, it's going to be like, all right, we know you're really good at these other positions, but we got this other receiver that we drafted later in the first round that's been playing receiver all his life. And he be getting paid based off of running this route tree and catching these passes and whatnot. We know you can do it, but you're good at blocking off the edge too. So we're going to keep you right there because we got nobody else that can do that. We're going to put you in the backfield to run the ball because nobody else can run the ball as good as you do. Even though you catch and run routes better than you can run the ball, we're going to put you over here because we got somebody else that can do it just as good as you, if not maybe a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And I had to go through that a lot throughout my life and whatnot. So I feel like it sucks. It's a blessing and a curse being a hybrid player because you're better than most, but you can't get compensated for it. I ain't mean to go on a tangent about it.
You make sense, though.
Travis Hunter, pick one. You know what I'm saying? I always thought the same thing, like, you playing receiver and corner. Pick one because
I think he's going to pick a corner when it's all said and done for, like, combine. And
I mean, he better play corner, though. He can't just – I don't think he can – I don't think he can just go out there and say, I'm going to be corner only if he playing more.
Like, I feel like the way they viewing him is like he's like a Charles Woodson.
Yeah, but even at Charles Woodson, at some point, like his last 2 years in Michigan, that receiver went out the window. I'm playing corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be a corner. So, and I saw sometimes, like, I think Travis Hunter's only like 6 feet. Not saying only, but think about, like, in NFL, Like, if you're going to be one or the other, in my opinion, like, if you're only 6 feet, I'd rather be the corner than the receiver because all these receivers is big. Now these corners sometimes are bigger. Like, if he's 6 foot trying to go against Jalen Ramsey and he little, like, I'd rather him just go guard somebody fast and just cover him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just my thought.
let's just say, what do y'all think Taysom Hill should be doing?
I think Taysom Hill should be what I think Tebow should have been. He should be like you were, H-back, like a tight end, like a scat tight end. Like, you know what I'm saying? He don't necessarily be the blocking tight end, but he in that slot tight end position right there off the line and go create.
But to even piggyback with y'all, what makes it hard, like you said, on the nickelback position, like some schemes don't fit that. So like H-backs, like what works in New Orleans may not work in Minnesota.
Well, I'm saying if he's on my team, like, and I'm paying him all that money he got a big contract.
No, that's not. I'm saying he got a big contract, but he got a contract that probably others wouldn't give. So it's like that's the bait to like they like, hey, we're gonna set our own little market with you. You know,
he's still listed as a quarterback too. He's paid as a quarterback.
He's like quarterback, right. And that's why his conversation is a little higher because like, hey, when in doubt, we can put you back there. You know, if it wasn't just quarterback, if it was just like running back and Wildcats and you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that, he would not be getting paid that because quarterback is on there. Like that's what's giving him a little higher compensation. But what he's getting there may not work like other teams. You know, like so I feel like sometimes with the contracts, it's like they throw bait at you to see how you respond. And if you respond, then you there. Like I don't know who's gonna just jump and say Taysom Hill.
Yeah. I think it's like supply and demand as well too because Taysom Hill. I don't know another player in the league that's like him because he can go out and play any offensive position besides the line, and he can go back there and play quarterback. Yeah, with a starting offensive line and like a starting one group for an NFL team. So he's literally a black sheep within the NFL. So with him, he's gonna get that compensation. But with the nickelbacks and H-back positions and stuff, nowadays those are starting to become more and more normal because for nickelbacks back in the day when they started to become a thing. Like you said, not everybody has packages for them. Defenses had to they make a package called nickel to have a nickel back in there. You know what I'm saying? And with Taysom, he succeeded in New Orleans and whatnot because they made packages for him. Same thing with like Lamar when he got they didn't have the offense they had when they had Joe Flacco there. You know what I'm saying? Like when they got him, they was like, okay, you're a different type of quarterback. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are mobile, not as fast as you are. So let's just change it up. That way you can succeed within our program, and it's going to ultimately make our team succeed as a whole. So with Taysom, since we brought him up, I feel like any team he went to, they was going to end up paying him that bread. Because, like you said, when in doubt, he can get back there, 3-step drop, dish it out to whoever he needs to and whatnot. But when we got our number one quarterback, you're still too good not to be on the field. So we're going to pay you as such, and because we can put you anywhere, like you're more of a benefit than a liability on our team. Because it's not like, oh, we're paying you as a quarterback, but when we get another one, you guys are going to have to sit over there and give signals on the sideline with the headset on. It's like, nah, you staying on the field regardless. So we're going to pay you.
And that's what I'm saying about this position thing is like, I always wondered this. Y'all are football players. Y'all played. I didn't have my mom let me play. So y'all definitely can answer this better than my thoughts. But for example, we had a great, amazing Hall of Fame linebacker who played middle linebacker in college and ended up going to the NFL and succeeded at that position named Ray Lewis. He was faster than most middle linebackers they'd ever seen. He came in the league. They didn't put him on the edge like Von Miller and Micah Parsons, who also played, linebacker in college. Micah played middle as well, but they let him play middle linebacker. Why do y'all, or do you think it's cool, or why do you think that they do that? A lot of these fast linebackers now, they just put them on the edge and say, go rush, get the quarterback. Like, to me, because I think Micah Parsons, as good as he is, like, towards the end of the season, he wasn't getting no sacks. So now he becomes, like, irrelevant on defense when I can take my 4-3 linebacker and put him in the middle of the field. He can still be very active getting tackles every play or getting picks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he's rushing every play and they're blocking him or double teaming him, now he's ineffective to my defense, which I need him to be. So it makes me wonder, why do they do that instead of just let him play middle linebacker? Like, you've seen success with Patrick Willis, Ray Lewis, people like that. Like, why don't you just let him be there?
Because the game has got so much faster. So just think about it. Like, if they, the thing is sending the fastest edge rushers. That's why Nolan Smith is creeping up in the top 10 because speed kills, as you can see. So, like, think of it as, oh, you can run. We're going to utilize that you can run more than how you play middle linebacker in college because the game is fast.
But I mean, right, but I mean, it's like I think Trey said a couple episodes back, it's a passing league. Yeah. Everybody be 6 receivers on the field, whatever. You know what I'm saying? 2 tight ends, 4 receivers, like throwing it. Pat Mahomes, it don't matter who he got back there running the ball. He throwing the ball 40 times a game. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I have a 4-3 linebacker, you know what I'm saying, same to Nolan Smith, and I know he can side on the sideline because that's what the game is. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, I'm gonna let him go out here and eat because now he almost like a hybrid safety. Like he's out here, he can see, he can run, he can pick off, he can knock it down, like whatever. Like you know what I'm saying, when he's rushing and he's getting double teamed and chipped by a tight end who's doing a little wheel route after he chips him, like, and he don't get that sack on 20 of those throws, like now those are 20 plays that he's ineffective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So who's the I think I don't want to say his name wrong. Is it Van Der Esch? The dude with the neck plate?
Van Der Esch, yeah.
He plays
too,
Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, so
but they used to play too because him and Jalen both played middle.
Yeah.
So
okay, so this is what I would say about it. So going back to like the Ray Lewis comment you was making earlier and stuff, him, Patrick Willis, these guys are more so hole plugging, big, heavy set, you not running through the middle of this line type of linebackers. Yeah, they have the quickness to where they can get like Ray Lewis, especially who's younger. He can, even to the end of his career, he's running sideline to sideline. He can run you down on the edge and whatnot. But middle linebacker, because I played that growing up too. I didn't go to college for it or nothing, but I just know what I know. So I remember from my mind, it's like playing the middle, you're in charge of making sure nothing comes between that A and C gap. If anything comes off the D, like out of the D gaps and off the edge, that's what your outside linebackers are for. The outside linebackers are always going to be faster than the middle linebacker because from the middle linebacker, when you drop back in coverage, you're really only responsible from hash to hash. Your outside linebackers are going to be covering the flats, like where the numbers to the sideline, the flat areas and whatnot, and you're really only going to be dropping back maybe 10, 12 yards off the ball. You got your corners that are going to be dropping back further. Your safeties are over the top, making sure nothing gets over them. So as far as the responsibility that each linebacker is going to have, I would not want to put Micah in the middle because, yeah, he can stop the run, but even if they drop back in the zone, if they're playing man, cool. Like he can run with somebody, like he'll be cool. But they can easily take him out of the middle of the field and dump it off to the running back on a little check down. So that's why a lot of teams don't play man now. They'll put their corners up manned up with some receivers. But as far as the linebacker, you got to drop him into his zone, get a hook to curl, all that type of stuff because they want to keep everything in front of them. If a running back comes and checks down, or you've seen Ray Lewis do it plenty of times, they bring that little slot, Julian Edelman, some like type receiver coming across the middle, and he checks him, knocks him off his route. That way they can't check nothing down. They're forced to throw it deep. They're going to be getting those picks and whatnot. So with Micah, it's better for him being at the Sam or the wheel because he has the speed to where he can beat the lineman, especially one-on-one off the edge to go back there and get sacks, where a lot of teams their weaknesses might end up being off the edge, especially if you have slower defensive ends and linebackers over there. All you need is a running back like Pacheco to get one little night. Bro, they used to teach me this all the time. It's like, yo, we only need a block for a half a second off the edge. If you can chip that linebacker or chip that defensive end to where they kind of step back for a second, that's all the running back needs to make a move. And once they 3-4 yards away from you, you're not catching them. So if you have somebody like Micah Parsons who's bigger, strong, and he's really fast, even if he gets double teamed, it's all about setting that edge because you want that defensive end to come up the field. Even if it's getting double teamed, set the edge to where you got to force them back inside. And if they come outside of you, boom, I can push off them. I can run them down to the sideline. They can't get away from me. So I think it makes sense that they have him at the outside backer because your weakness is more often not going to be off of the edge because me as an offensive-minded player, if I want to run off the edge, okay, cool. I got you and Dev out at receiver. I'm having both of y'all run 9 routes. Y'all are running the corner off, especially if they pressed up playing man. But how they can get you is if they playing man and you hit them with a little move, run a 9 route, they might throw you off, let the safety pick you up, and now they sitting down there in the flat and they got their outside linebackers coming on a blitz or something. You beat that linebacker, hit that hash, you just got to outrun them, and now you just take off and whatnot. But yeah, I think back in the day when Patrick Willis was younger and they had Ray Lewis and stuff, it was more so like a run-heavy league to where they had 1-2 receivers on the team. You know, that's when Randy Moss and them was in there. They were deep threats. They'll drop back and they'll throw the ball, especially when they run it down, they throw it all game. It's like, all right, bet, they're not expecting this play action. Boom, Randy over the top, touchdown. And you need that person like Ray Lewis who can sit there and stop anything from coming over the middle, stop anything running up the A or B gaps and whatnot. That you got those edge linebackers I forgot the dude from the Buccaneers, big old linebacker.
Devin White.
Not Devin White.
Devontae David.
No, what's his name? Hall of Fame. Brooks.
Brooks.
Derek
I
Brooks.
believe Brooks played outside.
And he played outside. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like it's the same position, but it's 2 different responsibilities sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like as a Mike, you're responsible for left and right side and what's going on in the middle for you. But then when you got somebody like Van Der Esch who's been playing, he's a veteran playing Mike linebacker, it's like, okay, we know we got a guy who can actually really do it. He's a run stopper and he can his coverage is cool too. But Micah, you know what? You're younger, you faster than a lot of these people. We're putting you on the edge that way you can cover out here because they're gonna try to get. They got Tariq Hill, you got Waddle, people like that who's real quick, do little quick out routes and whatnot. He can run that down versus having a liability and a linebacker who's like kind of, a little bit heftier, not as fast and whatnot, and they're getting beat off the edge every single time. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel that. That's dope. I always wondered about that. 'Cause I was like, man, this is annoying. But anyway, I got you. Lamar Jackson. This is probably like the biggest soap opera in our offseason of football since Chiefs held the trophy in the air and had their parade. Before there was teams. There was speaking of. We heard Jets. We heard Raiders. Two of those teams doesn't seem like it'll be either one because Jets have kind of said publicly they're going all in on getting Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers actually came out yesterday or this morning and said it doesn't take a first-round pick to get him at this point. Like, just give us a better deal that we've offered. You can have him. So they're definitely all in on Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. Raiders went and signed Jimmy G. He's not a backup. And so those two teams are out of the mix. Other teams that we expected, Falcons, Commanders, even the Lions, from what I'm hearing, like, they're kind of out. Like, they're cool what they got going on. Lions, Goff is really good. Brissett is not bad. And Eric Bieniemy is there, so it'll probably make him look all world next year too. So, I've been hearing Colts. I still think Miami might sneak in there and get something done. What's y'all's thoughts on Lamar? I mean, and then he also might end up being a Baltimore Raven just holding out because he don't want to play there. So,
I feel Lamar. Like we talked earlier, I feel like Lamar should go to Washington. I think that's the best fit for him. They have weapons there. You have at least 3 receivers and a good tight end. With a solid offensive line, can get some work there, but that's what the draft is for, free agency is for, whatever they can afford can make some shake. They went all in on the defense, with a good quarterback and a solid defense, you can make a nice run. In the tough division like y'all, NFC East, the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and Washington still was good. And they barely missed the playoffs. So I just feel like in order to compete in that division, you want to get, the best of the best on the field. Like they even said they was looking for another running back there in Washington. So like they're still going to add, even though they got a starter. And it's clear as day, Brissett, he could be a starter, and ideally you're going to get someone like Lamar Jackson that's going to change your whole offense and see what he can do with Eric Bieniemy. Like Eric Bieniemy, put your best foot forward and get someone like that. So I don't know. I still feel like it's like a game, and I feel like they can talk to Lamar. They probably are talking to Lamar. I wouldn't be surprised, but they're just not going to, publicize that, for people to start making their opinion on it or to have Baltimore feel like they can get in on the trade and try to get him back, even though he said he don't want to be there. I like the Lions, even though Jared Goff is, a proven winner. He's showing that he can win. He took a team to a Super Bowl despite a loss. I think that you can put Lamar Jackson in that situation and the offense just gets that much better. Jared Goff is still a good quarterback, but he ain't going to be there forever. Get Lamar and get him for at least 5-6 years if you can. And versus Jared Goff, who will be there for only about 2 or 3. So
I think he's still relatively young too. Like, yeah,
he's young, but I feel like Lamar is clearly a better upgrade than Jared Goff.
Yeah, I think I saw something where they said that the Commanders wasn't really even trying to get Lamar no more.
Yeah. And also, I forgot about Patriots too. They said, I know what's his name. What's his name? Just retired. McCourty. Devin McCourty. Yeah. He went on ESPN and actually said, he's like, "Hey, Bill, go getLamar." Like, he been lobbying for him to go get Lamar.
Yeah,
I think that'd be.
I'll be lit.
Yeah,
he'd be lit. That's what. But I don't think that's a. Like not even being biased. I don't think that's a. It don't seem like it would be a great fit for him at all. Like I think about Cam. Like it would seem like Cam would flourish the same way. Like he did it. They're kind of a similar type of player in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if Cam wasn't successful, I don't see how Lamar would be successful. Like I think Bill just requires different. You know what I'm saying? Then I don't think Lamar could even be himself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like Rob Kraft. He even said it's up to Bill. Meek Mill, reached out to Rob Kraft and said, try to get Lamar. Rob Kraft said, hey, man, it's up to Bill Belichick to make that decision. So it's like, to me, I feel like the way they're treating Lamar is like hot potato. Your issue. Nah, we ain't on it.
You think they're saying, my bad, you think they're saying he's an issue?
No, I think it's hot potato as people are just passing on like the same information. Like, I'm good. But somebody's going to say, Let's get him. And I feel like it all depends on also the draft. Think about it. If the Ravens want a first-round pick, what if they give you a first-round pick after the draft? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got – we'll make this deal after. And then, like, let's see how the draft board falls. The top 4 quarterbacks and Hendon Hooker, what we'll talk about in a second. But with Hendon Hooker, those 5 quarterbacks could be in the first 2 rounds. And if you don't bank on getting one of them, however the draft board fall, now it's time to negotiate. Washington, if y'all don't get a good quarterback like you probably anticipated, you just didn't publicize it, or if the Lions, like your 2 first-round picks, you got something different because how the draft board fell, like, then you can say, hey, we'll take Lamar. We'll give you next year's first round because they're going to be good. The Lions will be good next year. The Commanders will be solid next year, and they'll probably be in that same draft range next year, but the Lions will be better. And I feel like that'll be a better deal once they say, oh, we'll give you 2024 first round, which will probably be like a 28th pick, or no, that's probably too much, but like a 25th pick, 24th pick, something like that. And it's like, all right, we'll give you that for Lamar and in 2025 because now we got Williams as a receiver. You got Amon St. Brown. You got some weapons. You got a solid offensive line that they've been drafting lately. And you have a good defense with Aiden Hutchinson. You got some solid DBs. Jeff Okuda's now emerging. Like I feel like that wouldn't be a bad deal. Or you can easily give them the 18th pick and you still have the 6th.
Well, see, I think if the Ravens want to, get one of these 5 quarterbacks that they're, we're highly, as elevating, then they need to just talk to a team and just facilitate a trade with one of those teams in the lower part. Because at the end of the day, 2 things happen. Either Lamar negotiates with one of these teams, and whoever that team is has to give 2 first-round picks to the Ravens. But it could be the Lions who end up getting 29th pick, and now you drafting at the end of the draft. Like, you're going to trade them picks and lobby up anyway. So it's like, it's pointless. If you want one of these quarterbacks and you and Lamar aren't seeing eye to eye, then you need to call the Colts. You need to call the Texans. You need to call even the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would call them, hey, look, Lamar Jackson sitting right here, proven winner, MVP, has a big-time winning record. He's changing your franchise as soon as you get him over there. Ticket sales going out the roof. What can you give us for that? Now you can go draft any of them quarterbacks you want and start over. You know what I'm saying? Like, waiting until after the draft, in my opinion, like, is the worst move to make because now teams are set. Oh, no, I got CJ Stroud. I'm good. I want to – he's the future. Now you're sitting here with a disgruntled player who does not want to be on your team. And it's not like he's a receiver. He's the quarterback. He is the general. He's the engine of that team. Like, he ain't happy. What the rest of the locker room going to look like? Now you got people in free agency saying, like, I definitely ain't going there because he don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make a decision now, in my opinion.
I mean, I like the Lions because they got the 6th and the 18th pick. If you can give them first round this year, hey, I'll give you the 18th pick of this year or whatever.
It's going to be the 6th pick. They don't have to give it up. They have to get that 6th pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a first is a first.
Nah. Yeah, nah. Because
to get a quarterback, okay.
You want like a definite type of trade.
To get a quarterback, okay. Then you keep the 18th and you keep the 23rd. Be like, hey, Ravens, we're gonna give the Lions the 23rd. So now they have the 18th and the 23rd. So you still get 2 first-round picks, but we give you the 6th pick and next year's pick. That's a deal.
Yeah, and you get Jared Goff back.
That's a deal.
Yeah, I mean for sure. I think it'd be a good thing. I just want them to be done. If I was, and I told you earlier, if I was a GM of the Ravens, as soon as he came out publicly 2 days ago and said, I asked for a trademark second. Oh, bet, cool. Like it came across the thing. Yeah. Lamar been traded. Yeah. And another thing that we ain't talking about either, Jim Irsay, he's really, really good doing business deals. He's been doing it for a long time. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, so forth. He was like, money's not the issue. He said the guaranteed contract is. Like, even Patrick Mahomes don't have a guaranteed contract. And I think that's the thing. Like, I think if Lamar says, you know what, if they go in there and say, hey, Lamar, look, we know you want 230, fully guaranteed like Deshaun Watson. Listen, we ain't doing that. I'm just saying we ain't doing that. But here's what we can do, though. We can do 185, 190 guaranteed, and then the rest is based off of what you do. You can get up to 230 or 240. We can do that. But, like, this is where we want to start because we still want to put a team around you. We only have one receiver in Michael Pittman because we just let Paris Campbell go to the Giants. We got to put some weapons around you. You understand? So listen, this is what we're willing to do. Like, do you want to sign that? I'm sure at this point I might be like, you know what? Let me call I don't have an agent. Yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. Yeah. I think that's what I'm saying. If Lamar has to, I hate to even use this word, but like almost like humble himself a little bit and say like, you know what, like what's the next best deal I can do? Like Patrick Mahomes signed 10 years, $450 million. But I think we looked at last time it was like 190 guaranteed. Like the rest of it come from stuff that we know he probably gonna do. But like he still had to be like, this is a lot of money I could potentially make, but you know I gotta be real, and I want a team around me. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to keep Kelsey here. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to keep. I want to be able to get me a premier receiver. I want to be able to get me a running back. I'm gonna get a line around me because I know how I felt.
Keep winning Super Bowls.
Yeah, I know I felt when I had no line. I'm running around like I'm Lamar Jackson. I ain't him. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that matters.
Yeah. To add on to that, like that's what I was thinking about his contract because I think we had talked about it too. Excuse me. I think we talked about it. Like we already kind of knew like the guaranteed money was what was going to be kind of rubbing teams the wrong way. And if I was him, I would be like, or if I was a GM trying to work out a deal with him, I'm like, okay, I know he wants 230. It is right. Yeah. I'm like, okay, look, I know you want 230. You want a guarantee, but we're not putting that on paper. Like we're not going to guarantee you 230 because we don't got it. Like that's not what we're trying to do. But we can give you a deal for, like you said, 100-something million guaranteed. But the total contract, we could have that come out to 240, 250. And we're going to make it the way, like we're going to make the incentive-based requirements for you to get this money something that we know you're going to do. We know you're going to throw for a certain amount of yards. We know you might rush for a certain amount of yards. We know you might win a certain amount of games. So all these things we're asking of you, you know you can do. So all you got to do is just do it. And you're going to make your bread. Versus us, like, I'd much rather take a deal like that versus being like, oh, yeah, we're going to give you 230 guaranteed just for you to come out here and not do nothing.
Not to mention, like we said a couple episodes ago too, like salary cap goes up every year. And so like that's why Patrick Mahomes, his base is only $31 million a year compared to like Aaron Rodgers who makes 50, but Aaron Rodgers signed his contract 2 seasons after the Mahomes did. So like the salary cap goes up, which means that base number can be more. If Lamar goes in there and says, you know what, just give me the 195 guarantee, I'm good. Like in a couple of years, like that 230 look like nothing because the salary cap gonna be so high. Like, and everybody says that Deshaun Watson's contract is dumb. Like Brown shouldn't have did that. I disagree. At the end of the day, when you are a franchise who has had a history of just fans screaming and bleeding for something that's positive, and you know one of the best quarterbacks at the time was Deshaun Watson when he's playing, which I think he'll have a great season coming up. You have to go get the man. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was Lamar Jackson, this wouldn't even be a conversation. They would have signed him for the 230 and been over with. He'd be in Cleveland. That's what I'm saying. Like, so whoever you're betting on, like, you have to go get that person. Like, I agree with some of the people who said that. Like, it's not a bad contract. You want who you want, go get who you want. Like, Lamar just has to be like, look, these teams are running when they hear fully guaranteed. We play in a very violent sport. I'm one hard cut the wrong way from being out. Like, let me take this deal. At least that is guaranteed. And then you got endorsements and everything else that could potentially make you more than that. So, yeah. Yep.
That's valid.
Good convo. The number 0, man. You know, in the NBA they wear it already. I think you said earlier, Trey, in college they let the players wear number 0 now. And I know in the NBA they actually would let you wear double 0.
Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson, San Antonio stand up. Also, I wanted to say too with the number 0, even with in basketball rather. They used to have a rule where you can only wear numbers 0 through 5 because you can only wear a number that the referee can make with one hand. So if they said foul on 55, it had to be all done with one hand. They just recently changed it. That's why Luka can wear 77 now because they changed it where they let them wear whatever number they want. So he can go in there and say foul on 77. But before, a referee had to be able to say the number with one hand, even all the way through high school. Like it only had to be one hand. They changed those rules now. So with NFL, I think they're trying to catch up now too. They're always like the last part to catch up, but they now added the 0. How y'all feel about it? And what's some players you want to see wear the number?
Before you get into that, because I know you just brought up basketball, I just had something I ran across. This is totally off topic, but Jalen Rose was the first person, like literally in the world, named Jalen.
Yeah. He told that story too. He said his mom made the name popular.
Because it was a mixture between his mom and his dad's name. Then after that, everybody else started like naming their kids Jalen. Because think about it. Look at Jalen's age, and you can't tell me nobody who's 55, 60 years old named Jalen.
Yep.
That was just an off-topic thing. That's I thought crazy. About
That's
that.
crazy.
I was like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out Jalen.
I remember you told that story too. Like his mom made that name popular.
I gotta see that story. I gotta send it to me.
Yeah.
But the 0 I think is live. Calvin Ridley. Shout out to Calvin Ridley, man. You know, hope he have a great season. You know, I feel like the 0 is gonna be like something that he's redefining himself in the new home.
A new beginning.
Yeah, new beginning. You know, I think that's dope. I think sometimes the number 0 can be look too long. Like for instance, Christian Gonzalez, the corner from Oregon, the 0 is just long. You know, like It's like from here like a rectangle more than it looks like a circle. Like
It's just like the design.
Yeah,
depending on who
sometimes the
makes them.
designs on
How the numbers are.
Yeah, on certain jerseys look good, but Michael Parsons even said he wanted to get 0. I think some of these rookies can go in there like Bijan. Yeah, like Bijan can, come from there with a 0. Jahmyr Gibbs get a 0.
That'd be hard.
I do think like certain positions like shouldn't be, eligible to get them, but they're.
You believe that?
I think that's how it still is. Like the
Yeah.
single digits. You haven't seen no.
I think
really,
they changed that too because I know for a while quarterbacks could wear I think it was like a 19 to 0,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't let like DBs wear it, but like they changed it because Diggs wears number 7. That was before that was only a game for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He wore 7, and then Ramsey switched to 5,
Yep,
and
so.
everybody's been switching and whatnot.
Yep.
But so I think the NFL. I mean, I know college is like whatever you can wear whatever number you want. I forget who the quarterback was back in Michigan a while ago. He was wearing like a high number. He was like
98 or something like that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he was wearing that, and like you got defensive lineman. I haven't seen no offensive lineman ever wear a single digit, but
I got somebody right now, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is one of the most popular receivers that has emerged since he been drafted, and all the kids do his gritty dance. Everybody, look at him now. If he put the 0 on, he'll probably rock it right.
but
What
you
number
know
you got
what?
right now?
18.
18, yeah.
But you got to think about this
That's
too.
a Peyton Manning number. That's what I'm saying. It's like a quarterback number.
Think about this though. So a lot of these people who end up, it depends on their status in the league. Like a lot of these people who got a number, solidify themselves, even like Michael Parsons. Like I can see them doing the same thing they did with LeBron to Micah or any of these other high status players, especially with going to 0. Because when LeBron first got to LA, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm switching to 6," and he was gonna get 6, and then
Anthony
AD was gonna
Davis.
get 23. But then that first year, he had to keep 23, and AD got number 3 because LA told him, they was like, "Yeah, nah, when you first came here, we already done put
All these
like,
jerseys
a whole bunch
out.
of jerseys in production and whatnot, so we need to wait until we get like our get back from that on the back end, and then you can switch your number." So he had to go through that whole first season wearing 23, and that's why he switched to 6. So a lot of players, like depending on who they are, their status, you know what I'm saying? Like think about Lamar. We were just talking about him. I feel like that's a jersey to where like number 0, it looked too close to 8. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. If somebody like him ended up getting a number 0 jersey or something like that, or let's just say A-Rod had stayed in Green Bay and he switched to 0, that might be something where it's like, hey, nah, like we got too much stuff in production with number 12. Now you want us to go back and reproduce your stuff with number 0 on it. So I feel like the rookies and the younger kids, like the younger men that are coming in, they have a better chance of getting it because, they starting off. But some of these vets and whatnot, like it'll be hard. It was easy for Jalen Ramsey to do it because I think he had just switched teams like the year before that or whatever, and he was able to get number 5 and whatnot. But
A lot of these players too, they when they make their brand, they put their number in it, and so a lot of times if like LJ8 or something like that with Lamar Jackson, like your brand has this number on it, so you need to wear 8, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your whole brand shows it. Like kind of when Tony Parker, remember he was with the Spurs, like it was TP9. And it was like somebody was getting ready to come to the Spurs and they won at 9. I was like, nah, you're not even doing that because like for one, he's Tony Parker, he's future Hall of Famer. We'll get into that later. But also like he's won rings. He's a staple here in the city. We're not gonna make him change his number because you're coming here. Like find another number.
He was here before you, unfortunately.
Right? Yeah, find another number. So,
but like that 0, depending on the jerseys, I would like to see Justin Jefferson. I seen Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel said he want 1 though, because he wore 1 in South Carolina. He's like he want 1, but like you said, he's a superstar, and people buy Deebo Samuel jerseys in San Fran and everywhere else. So it's kind of like, dang, like you hurting a lot of people. It's like they could just buy the next one, but it's like, dang, they know you for this number.
Right. Some people might have spent their last bread to get their son or daughter that jersey.
Yeah, and then you don't even wear that no more. So to them, it's like, oh, you got an old jersey.
But
NBA
it's gonna be a
has
throwback.
that. Yeah, NBA, yeah, that's true. NBA has that thing now too. The NFL probably adopted too. NBA has this thing where if you, let's say I buy a Kevin Durant jersey with the Nets, and then he gets traded to the Suns or switches his number, the NBA store will actually like, I can send that jersey back and they'll send me the new one free.
Oh, exchange.
They have an exchange
That's
like
hard.
that. So NFL should probably adopt something like that too, because I mean it's definitely going to be a lot of people changing to 0. So
And I feel like it'll be easier for them to do that if they make sure everybody's buying their jerseys through the same place. Because some people can go to Lids, like Lids locker room, get a jersey, like pick it up from anywhere. Everybody can make jerseys and whatnot. But I feel like the NBA is better at that because a lot of people go to the NBA store and go in there and get their jerseys and
I
whatnot.
wouldn't mind buying a 0 jersey for like the Falcons. Whoever get number 0, they gotta be live.
It's gonna be a mess though too, because like let's say for instance, what number Cordero Patterson play?
84. He always wore 84.
Well, right, that's Randy Moss number, right? Yeah, 84.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say there's Drake London. I want to be like Randy Moss. I want 84. So that Cordero goes to 0, and then now he go to 84. Like now we have all these players switching numbers. It's like damn, we just what I'm saying, we already made these jerseys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like almost a transfer portal, like numbers portal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody transfer numbers is gonna be a mess. So
Yeah.
for sure. With the number 1 pick coming up in the draft right now, the Panthers have that. They made they weren't scared. They went out there and made, what I'm saying, get whatever they need to give to get that number 1 pick. And there's 3 quarterbacks this past week, or last week rather. We were talking about it a lot. And so we were trying to watch it and teach, being told, don't watch this principle. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? C.J. Stroud went first, then Bryce Young the next day, and then I think later on, or maybe this week.
Anthony Richardson is on the 30th.
Okay, yeah, so Anthony Richardson's coming up in 2 days. So, but the Panthers organization was at all 3. There was a very viral soundbite. What's his name? Dang, he just retired. He's a quarterback coach now for the Panthers. He played, and his brother played too. The quarterback, I don't know. He was a journeyman quarterback, pretty good player. But anyway, he was there, and he said, "We'll play basketball when on a court when I see you in Charlotte."
Oh yeah, Josh McCown.
Yeah, you go McCown. So, I'm saying like C.J. Stroud was kind of like boom, and then when Bryce Young had his Stroud was like, oh, okay, boom, which I knew was gonna happen. Like now he looking good, and then today Frank Reich come out and say, when you look at the tape, everything about Anthony Richardson shows that he should be a number 1 overall pick, and so I can only imagine how that room feels. You know what I'm saying? I already heard that the owner or the general manager wants Bryce Young, and Frank Reich likes C.J. Stroud, which already is butting heads because they have to work together, the coach and GM. He got a whole draft room split. And then you're going to see him, and he's going to wow you. Probably going to be like, oh, my God, now we're triple split. So what's y'all's thoughts on, like, I'll ask y'all this. I'm going to put you on the GM seat right quick. Shout out to Jameson, too, who was here last episode, because that's what he wants to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
he want to be a sports agent.
Oh, a sports agent, my bad. But just, like, in that mindset, if you're the GM, you're wearing that hat, which of these quarterbacks are you taking and why?
You want to go first?
You got it.
All right. For me, I feel like going into, I always don't look at the player's status coming out of college all the time, because we've had, especially at the quarterback position, you've had a lot of, really any position, you've had a lot of players who are ranked high on a lot of people's mock drafts and stuff and came in and they still produced, but didn't do as well as a lot of people thought they would. You know what I'm saying? I know like Baker Mayfield is one of those. Like he isn't the Baker Mayfield that everybody thought he was going to be coming straight out of college and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one person I was talking about. So when I look at these 3, I feel like if we're talking about the Panthers, Anthony Richardson, I would more so get him because he fits the mold of the QB that they had whenever they were successful, and that's with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
All of the quarterbacks are very talented. They all got arms. They can move around, all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's always about, not always about, vitals are very important, especially at your QB level. You can't have somebody back there. I know they just measured Bryce Young. We talked about he's like 5'10", I believe. Mm-hmm. Even with Tua being back there, Tua said, like, I remember he had said it at one point in time. He's like, yeah, I'll be having to be on my tippy toes looking over my offensive line trying to find my receivers are at. And sometimes that can be a liability. So my quarterbacks, I would love to have a mobile, like always want a mobile quarterback, a dual threat. I grew up with those, playing with those all the time. But I always would like to have a quarterback that's taller. I need somebody that can see over the line. He's built just like Cam Newton. He would fit right into that program. You know what I'm saying? So out of all 3 of them, I'll probably end up going with Anthony Richardson. Plus, the underdogs are always the ones that end up succeeding a lot. Think about Pacheco. Like, he was a 7th-round pick. And now he out there spazzing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is nowadays. I feel like you can't, like, college ball is very competitive, but it's a lot different once you get up to the NFL.
Devin?
I got Bryce Young.
Damn, that's what I'm going with. Go ahead.
I got Bryce Young because he's the guy. That's Houdini. It's like, hey, heart over height. I feel like with him, he's proven it every time. Like Alabama, if you think about their quarterback success, like, yeah, they Mac Jones recently was a 1st-round pick, but think about the quarterbacks before that. Greg McElroy or McElroy. Sorry, you had AJ McCarron, who's in the XFL now. Like they had average quarterbacks, but not quarterbacks that go win the Heisman. He's the first quarterback from Alabama to win the Heisman. He's showing you that, hey, he's the guy in the toughest conference in college football, SEC. Even though Anthony Richardson is also in the SEC, he don't have nearly as much tape as Bryce Young. CJ Stroud. I like CJ Stroud. But, man, Justin Fields is slowly proving it. But tell me a quarterback that's really that live that come out from Ohio State. We ain't seen one. Justin Fields is the first. He's doing good. That's his first season. Cool. But we got to see that. I don't think I'm chancing that on the first. I want Bryce Young.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna say this too. Real fast, who won the Heisman when Tua was going off at Alabama? Who won the Heisman? Because I feel like Tua should have won that. Who won it? I mean,
did Kyler win it then?
Kyler or Baker, one of them, maybe one of them, but
Kyler.
Because Tua was killing. Anyway, that's cool. Mm-hmm. But now,
no, it was Joe Burrow.
Oh, Joe Burrow, that's right. Yeah, it's Joe Burrow. That's crazy. Yeah, so he could probably say Ohio State, maybe not. I got you. And so I'm gonna take Bryce Young as well. For all the things you said and more, he's definitely Houdini. The way he beat Texas in that last game, just that last play. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, he's that guy. Also, something different about Bryce, man. Like, first of all, I can't stand either of these two programs right here, Ohio State or Alabama. Like, I'm not a fan of either one. But something about Bryce, he's different. Like, he's just like, you know what I'm saying? He reminds me of how I felt when I saw Tua. Like, and I think he's gonna be better than Tua. He's just different. He sees the field very well. Remember I was telling you earlier, it's like I was giving so much love to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's my height, 5'10", and most linemen average like 6'3" and above. So when they bend over and they say hut and they stand straight up and they blocking, like he got to look over all that and find lanes and throw the ball. Like that's gifted. That's not talent. That's gift. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to do that. Shout out to Drew Brees. Shout out to Doug Flutie. Shout out to Russell Wilson. Like the same type of mode. Bryce Young is showing you that he is that. And all those players his name have been, besides Kyler Murray, he ain't got there yet, but some success. And I think that he is the guy who is going to, when you're a rebuilding franchise, you want somebody who can go out there and play day one, I think he's the one. I think Anthony Richardson is definitely a project where he should sit behind somebody at least for 1 year at least, or at least to the end of the year like Ritter did. And CJ Stroud, I don't think you can go wrong with CJ Stroud. He definitely has shown he's very accurate with the ball. But we also did notice something too. Every time he scrambled and threw the ball was an incomplete pass during his pro day. So,
and Bryce Young was money.
You know what I'm saying? Cash. So I'm thinking Bryce Young. I just think that's the quarterback I trust the most. And again, with the quarterback to me being the most important position in all the sports, I need somebody in that position who I can play day one. You know what I'm saying? Give the fans something to be excited about. So Bryce Young, for sure. But yeah, good luck to all of them. Another quarterback, man. Before I even bring him up, I want to bring up somebody that you were high on before. I guess you got off that bandwagon now. But Will Levis. They said that he's actually like falling. Like they show him like Mark Jackson going like 15 and below now. And to the point where they haven't even offered him an invite to come to wherever the draft is this year. You know what I'm saying? I think is it Vegas? I don't know where the draft is. But anyway, wherever the draft is, they haven't even offered him an invite to go to the draft because they said he'll be, probably embarrassed sitting in the green room because he'll get lower in the teams when he gets drafted. And he said, if that's the case, then I'm gonna just, be at home with my family and wait for my name to get called. So
there had to have been something that was a buzz amongst like the NFL, like coaches and GMs, like they know something about him. It could be a character. It could be something that they saw at the pro day. It could be anything that they noticed about him that will make him fall. He's still a first rounder, but like you said, he don't want to be like the Brady Quinn. When Brady Quinn was sitting there sweating.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers too.
Aaron Rodgers. Lamar Jackson was laying on his mama. Like, dang, like, I'm the last pick. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people just sit in that green room and don't feel good because you didn't got fly. And who wants to go change and put another outfit on to hear your name? You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, it's just a lot, So, like, I feel him, and I feel like with that comment, he's saying, like, hey, there is a possibility, y'all, that I may not get drafted in the top 10. So, I mean, yeah. But, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker's up and bring up too. You've been high on him.
Yeah.
Since switch quarterbacks. But anyway, Hendon Hooker, you know what I'm saying? They have him now. They said that he could possibly go as early as 5 to the Seahawks.
They crazy.
That would be crazy, being that they just signed Geno. Or would you think they would draft him that high just for him to sit behind Geno?
Yeah, you're only 25 though, so
yeah.
I mean,
I feel like he'll be sitting there at 20. You get him. Like, they got two first-round picks, 5th and 20. You go get Jalen Carter at 5, or Will Anderson at 5, or Tyree Wilson. You can't go wrong with either 3. Yeah. Get one of them, you're going to be okay. And then that 20th pick, you can get Hendon Hooker or go get somebody that you can just add value to your team at that point. Not more so a need, but a value when you got 2 picks. And the Lions, as good as they are, they could do the same thing. You add what you need at the first pick, and then add value with the second pick.
Is he? I know he's recovering from a leg injury. Is he participating in his pro day?
No.
No. Yeah, I wonder why he's sliding so high then. Cause I mean, pause. But I'm just trying to figure out like
tape don't lie.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, if that's the case, then my boy should be getting some more love too. And somebody said that too. Somebody said like, if we're giving Bryce Young all this, they actually have the same measurements. Yeah. If we're giving him all this love and Kyler Murray got all this love, you have a 2-time champion who got most
Heisman
finalist. He got most outstanding player both years. Like trying to figure out why he's not getting more. It's not like he, you know what I'm saying. I mean, he had that one incident, but I mean, they ain't accept nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
what did he do?
Right after the season, he got caught with he was driving drunk in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I always say this too. Like, these are all kids. Like, they're all still kids. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're gonna make kid mistakes. You have to just hope that they have a circle around them or a team around them to kind of keep them grounded. But they're still kids. You know what I'm saying?
Man, if Stetson fall to Atlanta in like the 4th round, get him.
Would you play him over Desmond right now?
No, I would put fire under Desmond and say, hey, we got 2 quarterbacks right now, Des, that could take your spot.
They got Heineke too, right?
Yep. So
shoot, I might play Stetson. I'm like, bro, this is a certified winner.
Yeah. I might play. Y'all might have some fireworks with Heineke.
For sure. But he already said that he accepted his role and he understands why he's here.
2 years, $14 million. It's a lot of money.
Arthur Smith even said, in an interview today that, hey, Desmond Ridder is going to be the starter, starting day 1. He said it. He cut all the noise with Lamar. He cut all the noise with drafting a quarterback. Because why would you, if he's the starter, why are you using your 8th pick to go get a quarterback? So throw that out. We're going defense. We drafted under Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot under that group here. Like, they went offense first twice.
Let me ask you a question, man, because that's your team. You know what I'm saying?
That's my team.
Go! Right? So that's your team. So I just want to ask you, as a Atlanta Falcon fanatic, you know what I'm saying? Just be honest. I was here, yes or no. If you get a call, and they say, hey, like, here we are now here, or now you get a call. The draft starts, right? You know what I'm saying? And you see Anthony Richardson sitting there. Or let's say the Panthers go out here and take a shot the way Cleveland did when they took Baker Mayfield, and they go get Anthony Richardson number 1. And then team needs, nobody goes and gets Bryce Young. He just falls. Let's just say. And he's sitting there. Or you have a chance to trade up and get him at 6'5". Would you take your boy you just said, Bryce Young, and trade Desmond Ridder to whoever?
First of all, Bryce Young not sliding.
But if he did, though.
But if he forever slid, yeah, you're going to get Bryce Young. Best player available. Bryce Young, you're going to get him. You're going to get him. Like, you
would be screwing the ship.
Like, that would be something that you just sitting there, like, watching it. But he won't fall. If
it was CJ, would you go get him?
No.
Anthony Richardson?
No. What I would do, Anthony Richardson? Now, look at me. You said Atlanta Falcon fanatic. I'm trading back. Why? Because I can go get, still a first-round pick, and I can get your second pick. Easy, it's going to go down like this. I want Washington to say, hey, we want Anthony Richardson. That's the trade. You seen
all 7?
No, they're at 16.
Okay.
I want them to call Atlanta. If Anthony Richardson is there, if C.J. Stroud is there, somebody's there. Hey, what you want for that? Oh, give me that 16th pick. I'll give you the 8th. You give me your 47th pick. You give me the 47th pick that Washington has. And you give me a first rounder for next year, and you got it.
Man, that's a lot.
No, you giving me 2 picks? You giving me...
You give me 2 first and a second?
No, I'm not giving me a first. We're trading first.
So
you give me 1 first and 1 second,
and
I traded back. So it's like, that's really a solid deal. You give me that, you get Anthony Richardson or whoever is there, and we can trade back and possibly, hopefully, get Nolan Smith or get Joey Porter Jr. You can still go get a corner. So.
By the way, you saw him in his pro day. Stoic hips.
Yeah.
I'm sold out.
I'm
off the Porter. That's off.
Yeah.
That's out.
Yeah.
You might be the safety today. Anyway, yeah. I mean, you have been speaking highly on Hendon Hooker for a while, so I do hope the best for him and all the players. Really, I really can't wait to watch the draft, especially that first round, to just see if any of our educated guesses are correct.
I'm gonna give live picks. We're gonna film live on that day, and I'm gonna give you live picks, and let's see how accurate I can be. So.
Yeah, for sure. Switching over to basketball, we spoke about him last time we did our thing. Ja Morant, he did serve his I think it was 8-game suspension. He came back. I think he had 29 the first game back.
27
the first game back.
I got a question. How long is 8 games anyway? It's only like 2 weeks?
2-3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, even because they play like 3 in the week.
Exactly. I feel you.
I'm like, that ain't that long.
Yeah.
They say like 8 games.
Only thing that sucked was he had no pay. You know what I'm saying? So,
sure.
he had $250 million contract, so an endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like he learned his lesson. I feel like he's supposed to be, high spirit. He's supposed to be, with the team. But I feel like, man, I feel like that comment that he made with Jalen Rose was just, for the fans and for, his image. I hope that he learned his lesson, but I feel like he's just young. You know what I'm saying? So we all made mistakes. We all, who we were at that age, and you gotta learn. Sometimes you gotta fall on your head, but
he only 23. I thought he was older than that.
Yeah.
Dang.
He young.
Golly.
So he's feeling like, hey, if I stop what I'm doing, I may look weak. And they may make him. It's a pride issue, ego trip. So, but he cold. So he gonna keep hooping. Keep doing his thing. Hopefully they get a good spot in the playoffs. Go from there.
Yeah, what's your thoughts, Trey?
I mean, it's cool to see him play basketball again.
Trey, I don't care.
Yeah, he did what he did. I mean, I feel like they kind of gave him a slap on the wrist. I feel like everything he did was just like a PR stunt. His public relations was just like, yeah, go post this, go post that. That way people can kind of get off your back about it. People going to say what they want to say, Skip Bayless, all them people. And for him, I feel like he's probably just in the mindset to where it's like, all right, yeah, just a hump in the road. Let me just get over this real quick. Everybody's going to forget about it somewhere down the line because we're just going to keep hooping. Because eventually it's just going to dissipate to the back.
Yeah.
The space of nothingness, and everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, you remember when Ja Morant had got in trouble for having that gun on IG Live? And that's really just going to be it. Yeah. So I feel like for him to make people forget about that even faster, he's going to have to really go out here and make some shake with the Grizzlies.
Yeah, T. Morant, he on the sideline, swag surfing with Boosie. They feeling, they like, yeah, we back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that, yeah, cool. We let y'all have y'all moment, but now he playing, we back. So.
Because really, it's like you can still live your life and do what you want to do, just don't post it.
Yeah.
If he would have just never been on he'd be on social media like he's still in high school or college, or he'd be. I think he might be forgetting to click on a private story. I'm like, nope, you put that out to the public. Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah, I think too. Like I'm saying, I'll use this in a sense, right? So the trajectory of where we're trying to go, you know what I'm saying? Crowd Fair becomes like the premier, sportscast or sports podcast, whatever. And so we have this celebrity fame attached to our names. You know what I'm saying? Devin, Trey, Daniel, respectively, that immediately means any move we make in the public world outside of our home is watched. You know what I'm saying? Heavily scrutinized, heavily criticized. One thing, there's a very famous podcast called Drink Champs with Nori.
Yeah.
And they had Shaquille O'Neal in there. And the show, it's called Drink Champs. You drink on there, they play games, you take shots, whatever, right? And every time, when I first started watching the show, I was like, is he drinking clear or drinking water? And eventually he's like, I'm drinking water. And I said, Shaq, you don't drink? He goes, I do drink. But I drink with my friends inside my home. He said he's on TNT. He's known. He's doing insurance commercials. He does a lot of stuff with kids. Like he said, his image is all he has. Once he gets put in the media for bad anything, all that changes. And so he was like, yeah, I drink in the comfort of my own home with my friends and family, or when I'm with somebody I trust. He said I can't be on a public platform drinking because then I get slurred. I might say something I didn't mean to say or didn't want to say, and now I can't take it back because it's documented. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? So. I think that's important, man. You gotta have a mindset like that. I think people should change their way of thinking. I mean, just again, no hate on him, but LeBron, he's great on the court. Let me just say that too. But that's one thing I really appreciate about LeBron. LeBron came in the league when he was 18 years young. You've never heard anything bad about him off the court. He literally surrounded himself with a team of people who made his right. He was walking a straight and narrow. If he's going to get drunk or even when he cusses now, he's showing you he's human. But he's not doing anything to mess up the brand of what is him. Mindful, he got 2 young sons who are, one's playing the McDonald's All-American game right now. But you know what I'm saying, he has 2 young sons who are wearing the same last name as him. One's named after him. That matters. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's something that these professional athletes have to take into account for sure. Same thing, I also jump to another thing too. Jonathan Majors, you know what I'm saying, the guy who played in Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan. he was in I think it was a limo or a cab with his girlfriend, and apparently like she hit him or something, and she said that he choked her. You know what I'm saying? And she went and called the police and like fouled. He got arrested and everything. Got released right away, whatever. Bond got him out. But right after that, though,
he's still in character from Creed 3.
Yeah, right. But right after that, though, the bad thing for him, because she did come out, I think it was yesterday, and she recanted her whole statement. She just said, I was just mentally going through something. So to me, that already sounds like whatever. She recanted the whole thing, said she was going through something mentally. But the bad thing for Jonathan Majors is once that came out, he also so the top 2 movies out right now are Ant-Man and Creed 3. Jonathan Majors is in both. Well, the Marvel actors started coming out saying that he has like a really, really bad temper and he was like really aggressive on set. And so now it seems like that's just his personality. And so like that's what I'm saying. Once you have one bad thing come out,
it's a domino
ripple
effect.
Domino effect.
Dang,
All these
I
things.
didn't know that.
Yeah. All these things are following you. It's like, man, like, are you really this guy we keep saying be all wholesome and rubbing on Michael B. Jordan's neck? Or are you really aggressive and really putting your hands on women? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
He was all over Twitter.
Yeah, he's a big ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I even saw an interview with him on another podcast. He was like, they asked him about the masculine stuff, like how he be hugging on Michael B. Jordan stuff. And he was like, where they at? And the lady was like, oh, well, we're not trying to. And he was like, no, I'm not trying to. I wouldn't fight him. He's like, I wouldn't want to run up on me in the street, so I ain't gonna fight these dudes. He said, I was want to ask him like, what's the definition of masculine? But he was just the way he said it though was like, I'm that dude. Like, don't try me. You know what I'm saying? And you saw the movie. Even in the movie, like the way he was like, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, shaking his head, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I would make myself clear. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could tell, like, that might really be his demeanor. You know what I'm saying? People have quick temperament. So, again, like, you have to have a circle around you to kind of make you be smarter. And I'm going to say this last thing, too, on it, too. Like, we all drink, I'm sure, in this room. Please be smarter with the alcohol. Like, people forget alcohol is a substance. Anything that can change your overall being of who you are on a regular basis, you got to be mindful. That's why they say do it responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Like, too much alcohol can change your mental, how you usually act, which can make you do things that you might regret later on. So that's big too, for sure. But yeah, definitely praying for everybody involved. On some good news though, we want to shout out the NBA Hall of Fame. Right before we went live with the show, recording it rather, I got the, you know what I'm saying, the little Woj, you know what I'm saying, Adrian Wojnarowski, he announced, it says ESPN sources, Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, Becky Hammond, and Greg Popovich are among the finalists who have been elected to the Hall of Fame. Former announcer will come at the Final Four. They always do that in Houston this weekend. I always say this too. First of all, Popovich should have been in there. I'm not too sure like why this is even like super late. It's crazy because you don't have to be retired, I guess, from everything.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, Popovich should have been in there a long time ago. But I will also say though, definitely shout out to Becky Hammond. If you don't know Becky Hammond, everybody watching, she played for the San Antonio Silver Stars. Amongst the Olympian teams, we had that one gold a few times. She's actually the only woman whose jersey is retired in the AT&T Center here. And the San Antonio Silver Stars did move and become the Las Vegas Aces, who just won the championship last year. And she's the coach for that team, Becky Hammond. So she's definitely a beast. Tony Parker, 4 rings, helped change the franchise. I think he was one of the youngest players to ever come into the league at 17 years old. He's an ambassador for France. Did a lot for basketball. Pau Gasol, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with him and who's he play with? Spain? He plays with Spain, right? So Spain, him and his brother Mark, but definitely Pau Gasol. I think he has 2 championships with the Lakers. Just retired his number next to Kobe last week or week before that. Dirk Nowitzki, same thing. Have a statue in front of the building for him. Probably the best foreigner to ever come in the league, for sure.
Bucket.
Bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless Luka break all that stuff, he's definitely the best one right now. Dwayne Wade, in my opinion, 3rd best shooting guard we've ever seen behind Jordan and Kobe. Changed that position. Like, usually, 2 guards do a lot of 3-point shooting at some point. This guy did it all with mid-range. You know what I'm saying? 6'4", would dunk on you, was, you know what I'm saying, aggressive, big body, brought the Euro step to the American game with him and Ginobili, like, changed the game, dynamic. A great Hall of Fame class. And the last thing I'll say before I let y'all talk about it, I remember the Final Four was here a few years ago when Villanova won, when they had Dante DiVincenzo, and they had what's the guard that's for the Knicks right now? Can't think of his name, but the point guard is just signed from the Dallas Mavericks over there.
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson, yeah. They were in the backcourt, but they won the championship that year. But anyway, I picked like a little side gig doing security for the Final Four that year. And I got super lucky when I went up there to meet up there. They were like, hey, we need somebody to go to the suites and guard this particular room. And everybody was like, they were all thinking about seeing the game. And I was like, I'll do it, whatever. I ended up going up there. They took me up there. I ended up guarding the suite that had all the big wigs for the NCAA. Right next door was the finalists who made the Hall of Fame, and I got to meet Steve Nash, Ray Allen, and Jason Kidd.
No, that's tough.
Crazy, dog. Like, they were telling me all these stories. Like, they were bringing me drinks, like giving me food. Like, it was like, I was like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just in fact, I got to see them. Like, oh shoot!
Yeah.
Like, and it just totally shocked me. I was just sitting there, having to look up. I was like, and they coming down the hallway and going into the thing. Like, hey man, what's up, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Give me like I was like they teammate or something. It was crazy, and I did it both nights of the Final Four. So it was like, I saw them. Hey, you're back. What's up, man? Hey man, get this man a drink. Like, it was crazy. It was so cool.
This man lit on the
So
job.
tight. It was like amazing. But yeah,
He said, "Yeah, I'll go back up there. I'll
Yeah,
go back
sure.
up there right now."
That's crazy.
No, that's dope. But I like this list. Like, it actually feels good to see that because a lot of these, like all these players I watched growing up, you know what I'm saying, be from San Antonio. One of my old baseball coaches, Coach Harris, he actually played baseball at LSU and he played in the league for a little bit too. But his wife, she was a starting guard for the LA Sparks. And when she would come down here to play at AT&T Stadium, he would give me and my mom tickets, my family, we go down there and watch, and we was able to meet some of the players and whatnot. So I remember actually being on the court and seeing
Becky,
yeah, I remember seeing that. So I was just, it was my first time being at one of those games. So I was just like, oh, this is dope. And like, she was actually like nice, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's in the Hall of Fame. And then, you know, growing up watching D-Wade, watching Dirk, you know, Powell, Tony being right down here, going to a couple of their games, like, it's cool because I could actually recognize all these people that are on here, especially Greg. Like you said, he should have been in there.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this I got chills thinking about it. It's like,
Nah,
this is a great list.
Shout out to San Antonio. You got Greg, you got Becky, you got Tony. You know what I'm saying? That's dope.
Mm-hmm. We need Victor.
Yeah.
Got to get him. We need him. Keep losing, Spurs.
Well,
We need him.
Houston is at the bottom right now.
I don't know. I think we might have passed. I think I'm gonna look right now, but I know like Houston been winning some games too. Let me see. NBA. What's the what we're looking for? Winning.
I need a new basketball team, man. When I first started like really getting into basketball, my team was the Thunder. Reason being, because my brother, when I grew up, he might go against what I'm finna say, but growing up, he ain't like me liking the same teams he liked. That's why I'm not a Saints fan.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a Miami Heat fan. Those are his teams. So I was forced to like somebody else. So I was like, okay, I like the Thunder. I was like, they got KD, they got Harden, they got Russ, you know, Ibaka. Like, it was tough. But then after that, I was like, once they all dispersed, I was just like, I'm gonna still rock with the Thunder. But I couldn't really consistently get into it. I couldn't just sit down and watch their games. I'm like, bro, this is doo doo. So I need to find a new team. So I might just rock with the Spurs. You know, what I'm saying, hometown
Spurs. Damn, we third.
19-56. That is
19-56, but Houston is 18-58, and Detroit is 16-59. But I will say it's not necessarily based on your record like it used to be. It's just
the lottery.
The teams that don't make the playoffs, you get the more loss, the least amount of wins you have, the more balls you have going to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Cleveland got lucky and got back to back and got Kyrie and so forth. So I mean, Wiggins, all that type of stuff. So we can, you know, hopefully we can get lucky and get Victor. I really believe that he'll be a Spur. I just think that's gonna happen.
I'm not too familiar with the NBA draft. So you saying like I know it's like a lottery pick. You can mess around and get the first and second pick.
No, not the first and second.
Nah,
I think it's the 13 teams that don't make the playoffs. Like they are in the lottery, quote unquote lottery, and based on your record is how many balls you have going to the thing.
Oh,
you know
so it just greatens your chance of getting picked.
Yeah, so those kind of do it or whatever, and like, and I know, I mean, it sounds weird, but like the way they do it, like it's more balls, but like it's like you have a higher chance of getting that first pick if you have the least amount of wins, or whatever.
So what happens if, say, us three, we got three respective teams, and you got the least amount of wins, and you got the most like lottery balls that are in the pot to be picked? You get picked with the first one. Say the second one comes up and they pick you again, what would end up happening?
Yeah, I think once you're in there, like your team is out. You know what I'm saying? Take it out. So I think let me see how NBA lottery works.
I'm learning just like y'all at home. If y'all know.
I'm trying to think odds and how it works. Let me see. Because I know it used to be the team that won the championship got the first overall pick automatically. That's how the Celtics won 11 straight championships. You know what I'm saying?
That's a crazy concept.
Crazy.
I'll be sick.
Saying, hey, we're gonna be unstoppable.
So it says it's a new system apparently. So it says the NBA Board of Governors approved changes to the lottery system back in 2017. Under the revamped format, which began in the 2019 draft, the NBA lottery will ensure that the team with the worst record will receive no worse than the fifth pick. So that means that those three seeds I just said right now would get no lower than 5th. Under the 2019 pre-system, the team with the worst record would pick no lower than 4th. The new system will level the odds at the top of the NBA lottery so that the teams with the 3 worst regular season records will have a 14% chance of winning the lottery. In the pre-2019 structure, the top seed had a 25% chance of winning it. The second seed had 19.9%, and the third had 15.6%. So now those 3 teams, again, so I said Spurs, I feel it's going to happen for us because now if it happen right now, that means Pistons, Rockets, and Spurs would have the same chance to win that pick at 14% instead of 25, 19, and 15. After the drawings are concluded for the first 4 picks of the draft, the other lottery teams will continue in inverse order based on their regular season record. So,
And the Spurs, what's Buddy's name from France?
Victor
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
Yes,
Spurs might need to go get him.
That's what I said. We need Victor. We need to get him. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that. Yeah, I thought it was balls. Or it says right here, it says the drawing process occurs in the following manner. All 14 balls, so it's 14 teams, are placed in a lottery machine and they are mixed for 20 seconds. And then the first ball is removed. The remaining balls are mixed in the lottery for another 10 seconds and the ball is drawn. There's a 10-second mix and then the third ball, 10-second fourth ball. The team that has been assigned the combination will receive the number 1 pick. I don't know if I just read. So yeah, I don't know. This is some weird. I know there's only 14 balls in there. My bad. But I guess it's percentages of winning it. I don't know. But with that change though, and all 3 teams having that same amount of chance of winning it, I like our chances.
Yeah.
I hope because they always do it during the NBA Finals. They always do at halftime. They'll do here's the NBA lottery. They'll have all these people sitting there representing the teams, and they'll do it, and you'll be seeing people like yes. And if I see Detroit, number 3, dang, you see I get mad. And at number 2, they come in with a red. Ship race for Sace on the way. You know
Big Pop gonna say, "Hey, I'm not retiring."
Yeah. I have a lot of energy left. I want to go ahead. I want to coach this young fella.
Yeah, for at least 2 years.
Yeah, and I think again, like he's like you were saying earlier in pre-production, Kevin Durant is a legit 7-foot playing wing ball. Like he's a guard crossing over between the legs at 7 feet. That's crazy. Victor is 7'4", doing the same thing.
4 inches taller.
That's the first time you ever seen somebody that tall not have to be stuck down in the paint.
Rim standing up.
Yeah, but so agile, like just cross, step back. You know what I'm saying? Like at 7'4", that's like literally playing 2K and crazy.
Yes, that is a 2K crazy.
He has to play the 4 because he's not strong.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably play the 4. Kevin Durant played the 4 too, but
put him at the 3.
Yeah, I'll create mismatches. 3.
Put him at the 3.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
because he gonna be sitting just like this when that 3 come down.
Yeah,
all right, what's up?
Get to the wing, dog.
You gonna have to be Dame Lillard or something, pulling up from
step back. Even if you step back, he's gonna reach up a hood.
And we drafted what's his name? Sohan from Baylor. He's a 4, like a Draymond Green. Let him play the 4. Let Victor play the 3. Wow, mismatches is crazy.
And then Dame coming to San Antonio.
Yeah,
Dame is not leaving.
They already said that too. They said the
say it with a straight face.
No, they said not saying San Antonio, but they were saying that because Dame has been like advocating for like being a player like the old school era, like staying with one team, trying to help a franchise win. This year, I think he passes up Clyde Drexler for most points ever scored in Blazers history. But they were saying that the Blazers are going to be forced to make a decision, basically make a decision on him at the end of the season because like they have a great player, but like they got to rebuild. You know what I'm saying? And he's been there for so long. Like it's just that the tide is changing. We got to move forward. You know what I'm saying? So
send him to Miami.
Spurs, that'd be crazy.
Send him to Miami, but he go to the Spurs.
I did hear Miami though for sure.
If he come to the Spurs with Victor Wembanyama,
you'll have CJ McCollum say, "Hey, I'll go play my old teammate. Come on, CJ. You and Dame back there with Victor.
Don't forget about Keldon Johnson.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's the thing too. And that's the thing too. I forgot about that too. Spurs have the second most draft picks behind Utah. So even if Rockets got that number 1 overall pick, you trying to tell me they would say no if Spurs say we'll give you 4 first-round picks and Keldon Johnson or somebody? You have every one on this team. Just give me Victor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah,
that's why we traded the Hawks gave the Spurs 4 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray. 4.
Yeah.
I think we have like 11 first-round picks. You have all of them. So just let me keep 1, and I'm getting Victor. That's crazy. Who's going to say no to that?
Yeah.
That's a deal for him.
Real. Yeah, we'll jump into BioLite. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, Devin.
We got BioLite. This is the latest flavor, the fruit punch. It's the IV in the bottle. Please drink this. Cold, man. That's when you get the best results, man. 550% electrolytes, more than any other competitor. It has overindulgence. It covers overindulgence. It covers diet. It covers upset stomach.
Fight back.
Yeah, fight back. Dehydration, cramps, fatigue. Yeah.
For those who don't know what overindulgence means, go ahead and tell them what that is.
When you eat too much, when you're sinning, when you're doing a little too much, and then you need something to settle that stomach. Better than Pepto-Bismol.
Got the BGs. Go ahead and crack you out a BL, BioLite. Not BBL, BL, BioLite.
Also, is it cool for me to tell what the journey you just came off of?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I thought it was also cool, too, because, you know, our teammate here, Trey, he was doing a keto journey for how long?
I did it for about 8 weeks.
8 weeks, so 2 months, right? And so he actually has the privilege and honor of tasting BioLite this evening once we leave here because we have one sitting in the cold refrigerator for him. But yeah, definitely tell us how you feel about it. But that's dope.
Sure.
I also want to congratulate you for a little crowd favorite clap.
Appreciate it.
Being diligent on completing that task for sure.
Got to stay consistent.
Got to. I started my journey at 242, got down to 217 at the end of the 8 weeks. So yeah,
you feel better?
Yeah, I feel better for sure.
Yeah, that's dope.
Definitely feel better. It's always keto is something I can always do whenever if I feel like it's getting out of hand, I need to cut some weight or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta try keto one time.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know what I'm saying, like, I always get fearful because people always talk about the what's it called, keto what's it called, the thing, ketosis that your body goes through. Like people say they get like really sick. And I'd be like, I can't like, hey, presence to miss work now. I can't be out of work. I got ketosis.
You want me to tell you my experience?
Yeah, tell me.
So for the people who at home don't really know what keto is, it's a ketogenic diet, and what ketosis is basically when your body uses your body fat as energy instead of carbs, because when you eat carbs is like your energy tank. So when you go running, when you're moving throughout your day, you're using carbs that you're intaking and have stored to help exert that energy. So what the keto diet consists of is it's a low carb, little to no carb, and little to no sugar diet, and it's a high fat diet. So eating any type of poultry food, so like beef, chicken, anything like that is good. Sugar-free barbecue sauce, ketchup, all that stuff got to be sugar-free. If you drink soda, get the Zero, Coke Zero, all that type of stuff. Sparkling water, that's all good, or even just water. But for me, starting off the first couple of days, well, really the first week, it's kind of just getting over those cravings. You might be sitting at the house like, dang, I can go for some Chick-fil-A or some fries, some Whataburger or something like that. But then once you get past that, you also got to get past the feeling of like, I'm kind of hungry. Like, I haven't ate as much as I need to today, where I'm used to eating. And the only time that I would feel kind of sick is since you're not eating those carbs, it'll kind of feel like you have a day to where, imagine you go through, you got school, right? Or you're a teacher, and you go through and you don't eat all day. And you might be active with your kids, got to take them on a field trip, take them this place, that place, throughout the school, and you get back to the classroom, you're just like, ooh, like, kind of lightheaded, I need to drink some water. So I'll have those moments where I might get up out of bed or move real quick and be like, oh man, like, let me drink some water real quick, or get like a little bounce back snack, because they have like these keto fat bombs that are like chocolate and caramel, but it's like low sugar, low carbs and stuff. Eat that, kind of get some energy. And I would always drink like a whole bunch of water. And after that first week, you get over that, and it's just like
mind over matter. Then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just really just getting through that first little week, and then once you get through it, just making sure you're consistent with your diet. Because like I told you, I went from 242 to 217. I didn't step foot in the gym. I just went to flight school, came back, studied and whatnot, and I was just sitting at the crib. And
did you take a before and after picture?
Yeah, I did actually. I'm still working. Like, I'm about to get back in the gym, so I'm gonna have an even more like defined after picture. But once I get that, I'll definitely be able to like show y'all and whatnot. But it's definitely a easy journey for me. If something's not broke, I don't like to fix it. So what I'll do is I end up finding certain meals that I like. Like, I'll go to Chipotle, get literally everything except for corn, rice, and beans. Guacamole's cool, sour cream's cool, like all that. Eat that in a bowl. Might get triple chicken.
No rice?
I can't. Rice has carbs
do you
in
eat
it.
The leaves?
Yeah, like lettuce
Okay.
and stuff is good. Like, in that one meal I would get, it might be a total of maybe 15 to 20 carbs. And to be in ketosis, because that's whenever you trick your body into using fat instead of carbs, you have to intake no more than 60 carbs within a day. So I would just make sure, like, okay, one, let me stay underneath about 40 carbs, and I made sure my a caloric deficit was lower than what I needed to be. Real quick, if you don't know what that is, take your body weight. I was 240. Take your body weight times it by 10. That's 2,400 calories. In order to maintain that weight, I have to eat 2,400 calories to maintain 240. If I want to gain weight, I got to eat more than 2,400. If I want to lose weight, eat less. So what I was doing and what I learned, I was at 240, 2,400 calories. I was eating on some days I was only eating once a day. I would make like 3 or 4 scrambled eggs, get some keto toast, some sausage links and whatnot, eat that. My calorie intake for the day would be like 600 or 500. Let's say 500, right? So if it's round up 2,500 calories I need, I'm only eating 500. I'm in a deficit of 2,000 calories per day. In order to lose 1 pound of body fat, you have to be in a caloric deficit of 3,500 calories for 1 week. So if you do 2 times 7, that's 14,000 calories, the caloric deficit that I'm in. And if you divide that by 3,500, that's 4 pounds. So each week I was losing about 4 pounds because I was in that deficit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, see,
It's a lot of info.
It's not. I mean, I said it for sure, but I'm like, I think it's like the slow playing it. It would be like, man, I feel like I go one day, I'm like, ooh, shoot, how many? No pounds? Okay. Okay.
Oh, you'll definitely
like,
you'll definitely plateau because I know for me, like at first, that first week, I'm like, okay, I dropped about 5 pounds. Next week, drop a couple more pounds. And I had I always have a window in the middle. Like if it's 8 weeks, probably like week 5 to 7, I have that little window to where I was sitting at 225 for the longest. And then I went on a trip to go visit my mom, came back to the crib. And then on my last day, I was like, I'm not going to weigh myself for 2 weeks. On my last day, it said 217. So I was like, okay, cool. I just got to get over that hump because your body will get used to it. And they'll be like, okay, like we're not losing weight right now. And then eventually it'll just fall off. That's what I tell people. Like my sister, she don't do keto. She does like her own little version of it. But she's went from, I think she started at 280. Now she's down to about 180, almost 170 something right now. So she's been on a good little weight loss journey. Not strictly keto.
Is that what? What was she at?
She was about 280 pounds. And now she's down to about 180. She lost about 100 pounds.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's been on her workout journey for about, a year and a half. Like she's real into fitness right now. She's done water fast, where she's drank water only for like a whole week. Like fruit fast, different types of stuff like that. Like she's really into it.
That's that tough, man.
Shout out to my sister, man.
Hallelujah. That's that prayer for sure.
Facts.
Oh, well, definitely congrats again, man.
Appreciate
That's dope,
it,
man.
Appreciate
Definitely,
you.
I'm sure somebody heard that and they just, you know what I'm saying, keto, you know what I'm saying, for sure, because right now they probably saying Cheeto, and so definitely, you know what I'm saying, for sure.
No, it's
But,
funny. Anybody got questions, go ahead, hit us up, man.
Yeah,
in the
for sure.
comments,
Hit us up.
I'll tap in with
comments
you.
will definitely get you all that.
Because it's definitely easier nowadays. So when I first did it, whenever I first got to UTSA, when me and him first met, like, my first time doing it, I was having to make my own bread. I was having to make like any type of food I wanted to make. I had to make my own stuff. But now you go to Walmart, HEB, like they have a whole section.
Yeah.
Like you go to bread, it's like, oh, keto bread, each slice.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk about tacos. I love tacos. If you get one taco, how many carbs do you think is in one tortilla?
Like 200.
Okay, nah, that's a stretch.
That's too
but
much.
that might be 200 calories in a tortilla. But in one regular tortilla you can get from, just a taco shop, it might be like 20 carbs in there, 25 carbs. But they have keto tortillas, which is low carbs, where each tortilla is only like 3. So what I would do is I used to go to like the taco shop, get whatever tacos I want, bacon, egg, and cheese, come home, take the stuff out, put it in my own tortillas.
I
eat that.
see.
You know what
I
I'm saying? That's how you
shine on 'em.
finesse. You know what I'm saying? I'll go buy sausage wraps from the gas station, take off the tortilla, use my own one. So it's like, okay, instead of eating 40 carbs with this one taco or the sausage wrap I'm buying from the store, I'm really only intaking 4.
That's a good idea. We should start doing it with Eddie's. Also, something else I was thinking about too. My friend, my best friend, he gained a little bit of weight, and he went to his yearly doctor visit. And they were like, "Hey, you're pre-diabetic." They wanted to put him on some medicine. He went like a fat. He was just like just gained a few pounds, dad bod, whatever. And he was like, "Wait," like he got scared. He's like, "Man, just give me like 3 months."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "All right, cool." He did. I don't know if we call it keto, but he basically just like cut out sugar, carbs, and he said he would like he loves pizza. He would buy like what you talking about, the keto tortillas, and he would just like kind of like fry them on like some butter and like make it a little hard like a crust, and put the pizza stuff on it and then bake it, and that's how he would eat his pizza. And he said like you know what I'm saying, like he went back, you know what I'm saying, he lost all his weight, no working out either, like you said. We went to the thing, they're like, oh yeah, all the signs of that gone.
Mm-hmm.
So like, dang, like you know what I'm saying, like that's crazy, you know what I'm saying, like just. So I'm about to buy me some keto tortillas and just keep them on deck at the school.
The Mission Carb Balance. The Carb Balance Mission tortillas. I used to make my own chips and salsa too. Like I'll buy salsa, like cause salsa and stuff's good. Like I get chicken wings. I used to get like a 20 piece from Wingstop and just get dogged that, no fries, no nothing. Get buffalo wings because it has no carbs in it. And
you can do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and wings are my favorite food,
You
babe.
feel me? Yeah. So I would go there and eat
Keto coming up, and gotta get the wings 20 piece, no fries. Any sauce?
It can be any sauce. Like hot sauces are good. If it's a barbecue sauce, those have sugar in it. You know what I'm saying? So usually, if you like buffalo wings, you like hot wings, you're gonna be straight. But
like mild, hot, good.
And one thing I learned to do is I end up going on. I get like on a nutrition website. If I'm like, okay, I want to go eat here, I'll be like Wingstop Nutrition or Wingstop Sauce Nutrition, or how many carbs in wings. Like in one regular wing, it might be like 1 to 2 carbs. So if it's 2 carbs, if I get a 20-piece wing and it's 2 carbs per wing, that's 40 carbs right there. Get buffalo sauce, it's no carbs. So it's like, okay, I'll split this 20-piece over 2 days. Eat 10 today, 10 tomorrow. So it's only 20 carbs I'm taking in. Drinking water. Get those little Splenda packets with no carbs in it. Drink that, because eventually, like, you're still going to be getting fulfilled with your food. You're not going to be feeling like, oh, I'm hungry, but you're going to start feeling a lot better. Because, like, now that I'm eating, like, regular stuff, sometimes I feel a little bit more sluggish because I'm like, oh, dang, like, I'm eating this bread now, or I might eat some fries every now and then. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so you definitely get a sense of, like, more, not clarity, but more comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you're moving around and stuff.
That's dope.
And there's always ways you can work around stuff. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to drink. But I don't like drinking soda, but I like to have something like
Carbonation,
you know what I'm saying? Kind of makes me feel a little bit better. So any soda I get has to be 0. Sprite 0, Coke 0, Diet Dr. Pepper, like anything that's diet, because you look at it, it has no sugar, no carbs in it, so and no calories. So when you're drinking it, you're not really doing nothing but just fulfilling yourself with something to drink.
Let me tell you my trick I did with that too. Because I don't like drinking soda a lot, but every once in a while, you know, root beer is really great. But anyway,
Barks
yeah, root beer is great. You know what I'm saying? Shout out that. But one thing I learned too is I like Topo Chico has this carbonation. You buy those you know, the clear Crystal Light, or everybody has them now, Starburst, Skittles. Pour that in a Topo Chico in a cup and stir it up. Change your life, boy.
Yeah, healthcare talk, man.
Life. Yeah.
We gotta start throwing that in here, some healthcare talk.
For sure. But yeah, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into our closing prayer. And unless anybody has any more thoughts, anything you want to throw in there? No more Will Levis stuff.
Blessed and highly favored is all it is today. Will Levis is still going to get drafted in the first round. He is going to get an invite. I do believe that. It's just they weighing out the options, I guess, you know. But, yeah. Any closing remarks for you, Trey?
No, I'm good, man. I feel like this is a great episode. I was flowing and whatnot. And hey, by the way, everybody watching right now, my boy got a new camera set up. Let us know how it looks, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, try to get that. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Trey is he is the expert at cameras and such. And so I actually saw the camera that y'all looking at us on now. I sent the information as soon as I seen it. I was like, "Hey Trey, you know what I'm saying, how you feeling?" He was like, "Hey, that's the one. That's legit." I was like, "Boom, ordered." You know what I'm saying? Like quickly had to get it. So
got it.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying, I geek out on stuff like that. So it's kind of dope.
And it's a special week this week. April 1st, we will be recording again. We have a special guest, so stay tuned for that. Got some good insight to talk about that. So we will see y'all on Saturday.
For sure. We're going to jump to this closing prayer. I'm going to get out your hair. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come right now for prayer, we ask that you please, first and foremost, forgive us for all of our sins, ones known and unknown, past, present, and in the future. Father God, we just thank you so much for allowing us to see another day on this earth. Thank you so much for your grace, mercy, and favor just bestowed upon our lives. Thank you, Father God, for keeping us from all danger, seen and unseen, known and unknown. Right now, Father God, we just thank you so much for blessing us with the gifts you've given us. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together as a team and just created a wonderful experience for ourselves, but also for our supporters and for our fans. We ask that you please allow all of us traveling grace to our destination this evening, Father God. Just allow all of us continue to grow as individuals, but also collectively as a unit. Bless the ones that are in our lives. Bless the ones that are in our circle, Father God. We ask that you please just bless Trey as he continues to do his journey with pilot school. We appreciate you, Father God, for keeping him strong and sane during his keto journey. Allow him to be an inspiration to touch other people and to be able to answer questions if they have them. With Devin, Father God, continue to bless him as a fiance, as a God-fearing man, as an educator every day, dealing with these children, the different personalities, the different personalities of other adults. Just allow him to continue to be the best version of himself day in and day out. And for myself as well, Father God, allow me to continue to create better balance for myself, continue to just critique myself, be the best version of myself, hold myself at a high regard, and take accountability for the wrongs I may do. And last but not least, Father God, continue to keep our friends, family, loved ones, children, even our enemies, near and far away, and ones known and unknown, covered in your blood. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Also, again, special shout out, as always, to BioLite. Remember, drinking cold, for sure. Don't drink it hot. Drink it cold.
My brother, can you play my theme?
I got you, my guy. Let's get into it.
Because I'm hungry.
I got you. You doing keto tonight?
Hey, no.
I knew it. Okay. I got you.
More the freestyle.
Y'all know where I'm going. CFA, baby.
Get that freestyle.
Yeah. It's a slapper.
Hey. I don't wanna hit a cap, they can save it. But my guys and we got it up the pavement. Listen up, it's what everybody's saying. Round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, hey,
Yeah, my bad.
We
love y'all, man. See y'all next time.
Feeling like Brady. Say what I feel, I don't care how you take it. Round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite.
Yeah.